protest at the defeat in her tone. As I turned away, I noticed that the whispering had stopped. Grady was awake and had climbed out of her bunk to begin dressing. Eager not to anger our super unnecessarily, others followed suit. Today the rush to haul on overalls and boots was not chaotic. Instead, our actions were slow and measured. We had time, and no one was eager to embrace the day's events. Despite this, within a few minutes our group had gathered at the mouth of the pod and lined up. Her usual grimace in place, Grady unzipped the tarp and a dim grey light spilled through the entrance. I shuddered as we marched outside in silent unison and headed towards the canteen. The rain had stopped, but the sky was iron grey above us. This was not unusual, but the looming cloud seemed angrier today. As we passed the other agric pods in silence, different units emerged, our numbers growing steadily until the area was filled with the sound of rhythmic marching that propelled each line, like automatons, towards the hilltop path. Glancing left, I could see down into the fields which stretched away before us into the distance, empty for now. The dark protective fencing round the hydro plant where the Beck got much of its power supply. Then the wall. Tall, strong, protective, manned by patrol guards as always. Beyond the wall were the floodplains, their waters seemingly still from this distance, reflecting the steely sky and encircling the entire lower Beck. Sometimes the level of water was barely visible. After a storm it increased and everyone got twitchy for a while, until a spell of better weather beat it into a temporary retreat. But the huge body of water was always there, a silent threat that nobody in the Beck could ignore. Moving beyond the agric compound, we skirted the edge of the LS pods, deserted at this time of day, and then passed by the Dev compound, where the staff would not yet be awake. In the distance, I caught a tantalizing glimpse of the woods leading to the upper Beck, and in the distance I could just see the pass between the hills that provided a fourth wall to our valley. Finally, our line snaked sharply left towards the lower Beck canteen. Steam rose softly from the rear of the building, and the unmistakable scent of baking bread filled the air. The sustenance crew would also not avoid their duties today. We all had to eat. Marching a few steps ahead, I watched as Cassidy turned her head slightly towards me. Usually she did this when she wanted to direct a whispered remark at me, or snort with suppressed laughter or whatever she had found amusing. We had perfected the art of communicating in near silence after years of practice. Only essential, work-related communication was permitted in the Beck. We learned fast that the easiest way to survive was to exist unnoticed, under the radar. But today, Cassidy's speech seemed to die in her throat, and she merely glanced strangely at me before spinning back to face her destination again, as though she'd thought better of it. Our lines came to a halt at the flagpole just in front of the canteen. Usually we were eager for food, and this was tangible, even in the silence. Now the lines were filled with grim expressions, and no one seemed eager to hustle in and eat. A solitary voice, whichever sustenance super was on duty today, called out pod numbers from a clipboard. One by one, the lines trudged inside the tent. I found myself willing the process to take longer to delay the inevitable, but too soon our line was filing in behind the others and queuing for the daily bowl of porridge and rough hunk of bread. Today's portion was made with milk, a rare treat. The usual watery substance which lurked in our bowls was replaced by creamy, filling warmth. It was only a pity that we couldn't enjoy it. Collecting my allotted bowl, I walked to the pod's usual table and slid onto the bench. A moment later, a small, cold hand slid inside my own underneath the table. I couldn't believe how small the hand inside mine felt, how feeble. I turned slightly to my right and managed a small smile for Harper, squeezing her hand in return before turning my attention to the meal. I had little appetite, but the porridge was thick and creamy, and I knew my body needed the strength it would provide. Forcing down spoonful after spoonful, I wished we could be afforded this kind.